In this video, I will be covering a number of things that have to do with lack of sleep, sleep deprivation, sleep deficiency, and repairs and things that happen inside the body. Often, many of us think we're getting enough sleep, but we're unaware of what happens inside the body and the circadian rhythm that's involved with your time clock. Sleep is involved with the repair of heart and blood vessels. Lack of sleep is one of the contributing factors linked to heart disease. Lack of sleep is one of the contributing factors to kidney disease as well. Lack of sleep also has contributed to high blood pressure. Let's talk about the things that actually make you fall asleep. You have an internal body clock. It's a 24-hour repeating rhythm called the circadian rhythm. It's got two parts to it. Every hour that passes, there's a pressure that builds inside the body. Evening time, the pressure is at its strongest. The second part is the internal clock. It's cued off light and darkness. Light tells your brain it's time to be awake, function, normal activities during the day. Let's get the day started, let's get rolling. The nighttime, the body starts releasing melatonin hormone, saying it's time to start preparing for sleep. As the evening comes to an end, melatonin is at its highest. As the sun comes up, your body releases cortisol, prepares you to wake up and get your day started. As you age, melatonin and cortisol levels peak and start at different periods of time. The more wear and tear your body has, the more your sleep patterns and stuff change. During your developmental phases, more sleep is needed. The clock is a little bit different. It requires more sleep because you're creating hormones, you're growing the body, you're repairing the body, you're preparing for a developmental stage. That's why children need so much time. Their circadian rhythm is completely different than ours because of what has to happen inside the body. Children tend to fall asleep early. This is a developmental process, and they wake up later. That's normal. This is what happens inside their circadian rhythm. Adults tend to fall asleep earlier and wake up earlier. As we've aged and our development has already been processed, later in life, our circadian rhythm adjusts. We start to do things earlier and wake up earlier. We simply changed a lot of things in life. Adults typically have this mindset that, come on, let's get it done. The earlier the better. Fall asleep earlier. That's just how we're built. We've seen this since we were kids. Our parents went to sleep, 8:30, 9 o'clock. The kids were falling asleep, baby-wise at 7 o'clock, 6:30. And teenagers stay up until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is a normal process. This is what actually happens normally inside the body, and this is how their circadian rhythm is actually set up. This is not abnormal. Infants need more sleep than we do because of so much going on inside their body. They're still trying to grow. There's a number of things happen. They spend more time in REM sleep because of the development process that's going on inside their body. Let's talk about sleep importance. This is the mental portion. Healthy brain function. While sleeping, your body prepares new brain pathways. This helps with learning, remembering, motor function, problem solving, controlling emotions, coping with change. Lack of sleep has been linked to suicide and depression, as well as anxiety. Now we talk about the physical portion. Sleep is important for heart repair, repairing blood vessels, prevent kidney disease, reduce the risk of obesity. Hormone balance, such as leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is your satiety hormone. Ghrelin is your I'm hungry hormone. When you don't get enough sleep, ghrelin goes up. With the lack of sleep, leptin goes down. So that means your I'm full, I'm hungry is all thrown off, and now your body doesn't quite know exactly what it wants because your sleep is off. Deep sleep promotes growth and muscle mass. Lack of sleep affects how your body reacts to insulin and blood sugar. Lack of sleep causes blood sugar irregulation. Sleep helps with your immune system health. Some people have trouble fighting off common colds. Some people have trouble repairing cuts, bruises, things of this nature. I've often found at work, when I don't sleep as well, that I'm less productive. It's more unsafe. I make more stupid choices, bump my head because I'm a heavy equipment mechanic, cut myself more easily, and I put myself in harm's way. I make poor choices. Lack of sleep leads to something called microsleep. Microsleep. Brief moments of sleep that occur when you're normally awake. Have you ever driven anywhere and not remembered it? This can happen to you. Brief moments throughout the day where you're awake, but all of a sudden you just don't remember what happened the last few minutes or the last 10 minutes even. I know I've taken long trips, been so tired on a long trip, and not realized how I finished the last 30 to 45 minutes of my trip. I was actually in a form of microsleep. My body was awake, I was functioning, but I did not actually know what was going on, so my motor skills were off. This could have been very dangerous. I could have hurt somebody doing this, but I'm human. I will admit that I have experienced this. Story time. I was heading to Fort Polk, Louisiana. It was 2006. I was trying to report to my duty station. As I was headed down to Fort Polk, Louisiana for my first day in the military, I saw a vehicle cross the center lane, leaving Illinois, and come up this very wide median and crash into an old school square body Lincoln Town Car. The guy fell asleep at the wheel. When I pulled all four people out of the vehicles and I stopped the bleeding of one of the old ladies in the old square body Lincoln Town Car, the old man told me, I don't even remember what happened. I just know I was driving, and then I woke up careening through the median, and then I impacted the Lincoln, and I had almost no control. This is a form of microsleep. Yes, everybody survived. I did get the bleeding to stop, and everybody was taken to the hospital and dealt with accordingly. But this is a dangerous form of microsleep. Did you know that lack of sleep and sleep deficiency has on average created 100,000 car accidents each year, which led to an average of 1,500 deaths yearly? The recommended sleep amounts per age group. Again, these are just recommended. Infants to 5 years are anywhere from about 9 to 16 hours daily. 5 years to 12 years are about 9 to 12 hours daily. 13 to 18 years, about 8 to 10 hours daily. And 18 years and older is only about 7 to 8 years daily. Your lack of sleep actually snowballs. So say, for instance, take into account for a 2-hour sleep loss per day. 4 days, that's 8 hours total. You've just lost one entire day of repairing and healing because of lack of sleep. Let's look at some signs of sleep deficiency. Do you fall asleep when watching TV? Sitting still at a theater or a meeting or in a public event? What about driving? Sitting and talking to somebody. Are you that person that's constantly drooping your head and closing your eyes while somebody's having a conversation with you? That aggravates me. I know it aggravates you. Can you imagine how it makes somebody else feel? In the middle of a workout, are you all of a sudden feeling fatigued, like you want to go home and go to sleep? Do you have mood swings? Now we're going to talk about some strategies for falling asleep. Timed, scheduled sleep. Try to keep the same times that you fall asleep and wake up every single day, and that includes your Saturdays and Sundays or whatever your weekend days are as well. Quiet time before bed does help the majority of people. Avoiding large meals hours before bed. Some small snacking may be okay, but large meals often doesn't impact on the way you fall asleep. Avoid caffeine and nicotine at night before bed if you can. Spend some time outside during the day and be physically active, because this prepares your body for its physical activity portion and then wind down repair portion, which helps with the sleep at the end of the day. Cool, dark, quiet rooms simply make the best sleep. I know for myself that is a fact. Meditate, hot bath, something relaxing before bed often prepares you for a good night's sleep. Now, all this doesn't cover every single thing that's involved with sleep deficiencies and why it's important. My whole goal here is to entice you to try to do the best that you can and fix whatever may be wrong, and search out your own educational information. I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know it's a little lengthy, but I had to pack all this in such a short amount of time. Please come back and see me, and like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.